I'm very ill right now, so I have Kleenex next to me. Just letting everyone know. Big FTX updates.
Big FTX updates. The debtors are going to pay creditors in cash. That means by checks in the mail. There's 2 million creditors. That's super impractical for most of these foreign creditors, which is, a lot of people in France, Germany, India cannot cash US dollar checks. So what are they going to do?
Yeah.
This was a crypto company. This should be done in stablecoin at minimum.
True.
The other big issue at hand is repayment in maximum 100%. It looks like right now there are enough assets to do more than 100%. It depends how things shake out. We're not out of the woods yet, but it looks like there's more than 100% repayment based on petition date values.
Right.
There's a bit of a fight there. And finally, Sam's sentencing, I think, is a big deal.
I think so too. Okay, so there looks like there's enough funds to pay back customers over 100%. Do you know what percent customers could actually get? I mean, if we were to just liquidate all the assets right now at present day values, do you know what percent would be possible, even though I don't know that customers are actually going to get over 100%?
It's a little more complicated than that because you need to look at the plan, the draft plan, and the stakeholders. Who are the most important stakeholders in this bankruptcy? The customers, and then it's the IRS and the CFTC.
Mm.
The CFTC has fined FTX $8 billion, right? So they come after customers. The lenders, the Alameda lenders, are about 20% of the entire pie. They are important, and that's you, Celsius. They are important. They're not as important as the CFTC.
So, like Celsius and everyone would get paid out after the CFTC?
No. You get paid before the CFTC.
Okay.
Having said that, Celsius and everybody would, getting a high return is very likely at this point, post some renegotiation of claims. So the debtors are going to start cutting the denominator, and they did a big agreement with BlockFi where they cut the denominator some, but they allowed BlockFi's claim.
So can you explain what that means?
That means they put a gun to BlockFi's lawyers and said, we're going to reimburse you in full, but let's agree on a timeline and let's agree on an amount that we actually owe you.
And they decided on an amount?
Yeah, it's 850, I think, for BlockFi. So whatever the initial amount is, it's probably going to be less because that's the job of these lawyers. Frankly, this doesn't really impact FTX customers all that much, as opposed to the CFTC, etc. The CFTC is the big dog in this bankruptcy and is going to determine where, and the judge, I guess, where the extra money goes, whether equity gets it, whether creditors can get more than 100%. I don't know. But what I can tell people is that there's no way that we're going to go down the Celsius route of essentially giving crypto back to people. That's not going to happen. The judge is never going to say, okay, FTX debtors, buy crypto to give it to people. I don't think that's going to happen.
Especially at these prices.
Right. Maybe there's going to be a stable coin repayment. I give that a 2% chance of happening.
So customers are probably just going to get checks in the mail, fiat, no crypto. Big bummer.
I think the big news out of this is the formation of the customer ad hoc group, the CAHC.
Brief pause, but I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Claims Market. It looks like FTX creditors are likely to be made dollar whole, but we don't know how long that could really take. It could potentially be years before FTX creditors see a payout. And it looks like FTX creditors will be paid out in fiat currency, so they're losing all exposure to crypto. Well, Claims Market offers FTX creditors a pathway to immediate liquidity. Claims Market is the largest crypto claims marketplace where you can list your bankruptcy claim for sale, and almost 50 onboarded buyers will compete and bid for your claim to make sure sellers get the best price. FTX claims prices continue to increase, and the generic pricing for large claims above $1 million is currently between 90 to 95% of the claim value. Just to be clear, not all claims sell within the 90 to 95% range. There are other factors involved like claim size and preference exposure, but overall, this is the absolute highest that claims have ever been sold. By the way, in case you haven't calculated the value of your FTX claim, Claims Market recently added a claims calculator at claims-market.com. If you click on FTX calculator in in the upper menu, you can input your unique customer code to find the value of your claim at petition date prices, the quantity and names of the tokens you held in FTX, as well as locate your claim in the March and June 2023 Schedule Fs and in the amended January 2024 Schedule F if applicable. Claims can be sold quickly, sometimes even on the same day that they're listed, and you can view this on a transparent transaction history at claims-market.com. In fact, ClaimsMarket is the only broker to have publicly visible transparent documentation. The majority of trades are confirmed within 2 to 3 days of listing, and once a trade is confirmed, buyers are contractually obligated to send payment to the seller within 2 business days. There are 0 fees to the seller for listing or directly selling their claim, only for small claims that Cherokee buys. In other words, if you're in need of immediate liquidity so that you can reinvest back into the crypto market or do whatever you want with that cash, without having to wait potentially years in bankruptcy, ClaimsMarket is an excellent choice. ClaimsMarket is credible. They've actually transacted the most crypto claims in all bankruptcy cases, including FTX. In fact, over $300 million of crypto claims have been traded on ClaimsMarket in the past year. They also have almost 150 5-star Google reviews. If you'd like to sell your claim or get more information, you can find ClaimsMarket on Twitter at claims_market, on YouTube at ClaimsMarket, on LinkedIn under Cherokee Acquisitions. And to be clear, I'm not telling you to sell your claim. I would never tell you what to do with your own money. But again, if you're in need of immediate liquidity and don't want to sit through a potentially multi-year bankruptcy, ClaimsMarket is an excellent choice.
I am not a member of the CAHC, not legal advice, but I really respect what those guys have done just because they've managed to organize and fight for what they believe in. In this bankruptcy, knowledge is power, and joining together forces to make your demands is how you get not kicked around. And so the customer ad hoc group, which I'm not a part of, which no legal advice, join it if you're interested, don't join it, none of my business. But they've achieved things already, which is impressive. And I'll talk about what they've achieved. And they have key demands. They want more than 100% repayment for creditors, for customers.
Understandable.
Some of their demands are like, we want our claims to be repriced with crypto higher, which I fully disagree with because it comes to the detriment of other creditors. So if you have one USDC claim and I have a one Bitcoin claim, if my claim gets revalued higher, you are going to get not 100 cents, you're going to get like 85 cents.
But wouldn't it just be pulling from like people who are coming after creditors? Does that make
Well, they're
sense?
they're trying to change that plan, but these are their demands. So let me go back to the demands. They also want a clear repayment plan outside of the US 30% withholding tax. They want a clear plan on that and clear communications from the debtors. And they want clarity on the CFTC claim on how it's subordinated. I totally respect these demands. They want USDC repayments. Makes a lot of sense, frankly. And so far, they've made some practical objections, both in court and on Twitter. In court, they tried to block the Anthropic sale. So I don't know if you remember, but Sam invested a ridiculous amount of money into Anthropic.
500 mil.
500 mil, which has turned pretty well. It's a 3x.
That's pretty good.
They objected to this sale on the basis that the proceeds from the sale should go entirely to creditors, because in Sam's trial, the Anthropic investment was used as a prime example of how money was diverted from client accounts to Sam's personal investments. And the judge did not side with them, but he did put a little footnote there that, look, this money should really be for creditors.
Yeah.
Small victory. And the Twitter victory that they've had is blocking the Solana sale.
Oh, so there's still Solana left that has not been sold.
There's 40 million locked Solana tokens. Some of them have been sold recently. I don't know more other than what it says in the news, but what I can see on Twitter and in the news is that they have stopped the sales procedure and motion because of pressure from Twitter.
Oh, wow. So coming together on Twitter really does have some impact.
It does. Now, money talks. Like, let's see if we actually get that extra money. I'm not entirely convinced we will.
What do you mean, that customers would get the extra money?
Yeah.
Why do you think no?
I think the mountain you have to climb is pretty high. And I've seen very little evidence that we are going to climb that. And I've seen very little evidence so far that the judge was swayed by this.
Do you basically mean because customers are already being made 100% whole that they wouldn't really reap the benefits of any additional sources of value?
Yeah, the bankruptcy code is not very generous when it
Mhm.
comes to getting more than 100% recovery. Like there's very few limited cases in which you can get that done, and
Mhm.
petition date pricing is done. I mean, it's a tough battle,
Yeah.
but I respect people who, fight their fight and they have their beliefs, and these guys are doing a good job. So respect.
Yeah. And just to reiterate for people who don't remember, claims have been dollarized on the petition date in case someone has not been following along. And at November 11th, 2022 pricing, so Bitcoin was worth like
If you
$16,000.
if you want to look on a chart, it's the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. It sucks.
Damn.
Uh,
That sucks. I mean, but I feel like the easiest thing for creditors to ask for would be to get that extra 5% that Celsius has. Like Celsius creditors are technically entitled to 105% of their claim due to
yes,
the fraud, correct? Or I don't know if there's a better way
yes.
to explain that.
It's a fraud claim against Celsius. I would totally approve of that. I
Yeah.
think it would be a good path forward for creditors, but
If Celsius was able to get that, that seems like it would be a reasonable ask from on behalf of FTX creditors. No?
I agree. That was my view, but I don't know. And like, let's see what these guys get. They might get something.
Mhm.
So respect where respect is due. Now, where you and I really disagree with these guys is that they're writing in for Sam's sentencing
Uh-huh.
and trying to explain to the judge in Sam's sentencing that people are not being made 100% whole and that they want, not that they want Sam to rot in jail, but like it's kind of hinted in that they want victim statements.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, victims have a right to input their statements. Like, I wouldn't want to fight anyone on inputting their statements. It's just that, like, I ethically and morally don't agree with a life sentence for any nonviolent criminals. But I know I get a lot of pushback on that. But I mean, we both lost a lot of money to these crypto companies collapsing. And I'm like, I still don't benefit at all from either Alex Mashinsky nor SBF getting a life
From
sentence.
going to jail forever, it just doesn't seem necessary.
I think so too. I'll also include a clip from Coffeezilla talking about what he thinks Sam should get. I feel like Coffeezilla is who everyone looks to for commentary on this, but yeah, I found a clip of Coffeezilla talking about how he doesn't think that Sam deserves the maximum either. So I'm going to put a clip in.
Just a wild guess. How long do you think he'll get in prison?
Wild guess, between 20 and 70 years.
Okay. Okay.
I think like there's so much public pressure on this case, he can't get less than 20. And then I think giving him 119 years maximum sentence or whatever doesn't make a ton of sense. I personally, for like white collar crime, it's super under prosecuted. I'm like a fan of more people getting sentenced and not life sentences. Like, you have to just give a consequence to these people's actions. You don't have to throw the book at them forever. Like, but I'm not going to cry if Sam goes to jail for the rest of his life. But I don't think necessarily that that's going to benefit society more than if he goes to jail for 20 years. I think it's going to be probably about the same. And I'm just for more of those prosecutions happening. And like, I think even if like some of these influencers, right, that did like smaller scams got like 1 year, right, or even 6 months, I think the whole landscape of fraud in that space would change, because it just sends a very public signal like, okay, we just don't tolerate this.
What was crazy was that when Coffee's interviews with Sam and Sam being like, Coffeezilla, you are monopolizing the conversation.
You're grandstanding.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And Sam's sentencing is happening in March 28th. A lot of people want to see Sam rot in prison for the rest of his life. I
Please,
personally
please no.
disagree with that sentiment. Sam is asking for no more than 6.5 years in jail, which is,
Imagine doing 6.5 years.
dude, that's the thing. It's such a massive chunk of someone's life that, like, I think people are just looking at the number and not thinking about like how many
Yeah,
years of someone's life that is.
unbelievable. Imagine 6.5 years.
I
I,
know. It sounds unbearable.
I, wow.
It's really sad. I mean, I feel like people's main argument for why Sam should get a life sentence, because I've stated I don't believe in life sentences for nonviolent criminals. People say it was a violent crime. You realize how many people might have taken their lives, etc. But I'm like, you really don't see a distinction between violent crime and actual murder, rape, pedophilia versus financial crime. Obviously, it causes massive emotional distress, and both of us have been victim to financial crime. But I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's the same as getting murdered or raped. So.
And 70% of creditors are just going to get their money back. It is a
I mean,
fact.
that's the thing. Well, what do you mean by 70% of creditors? Aren't all creditors being made whole?
Well, no, because of petition date values.
Yeah.
But 70% of creditors were just holding USD.
Oh, 70% of creditors were just holding USD?
Yeah.
Oh, and there was also a number where it was like this amount of creditors had less than X amount in their account. Do you remember what that number was?
I think it's about 1.5 million creditors had less than 10 grand.
Had less than 10 grand in their account.
It's
Okay.
like 1.3 million.
And 70%, it's confirmed that 70% had US dollars in their account, just US dollars.
Oh, yeah.
So
US dollars are stables.
Wow. So 70% of customers are literally just going to get every single penny they put
Yes.
put into FTX back.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
actually not that insolvent. He was right.
Yeah. People hate hearing that, but was Sam right?
Yes and no. I mean, without the petition day values, without the petition day values, he's still pretty fucked.
Well, okay, those are good stats to know. I mean, jails have limited capacity. Like, I'm someone who, like, I want to see pedophiles and rapists and murderers in prison for life. It doesn't benefit me at all if Sam Bankman-Fried is behind bars for the rest of his life. But
I also think he's a decent guy. Like, I want him to get less jail time than Mashinsky, who's just an abject person.
I think so too, honestly. See, I can't tell if I'm biased there because I obviously hate Mashinsky more, but I'm also always like, is it because I lost money to Celsius and not FTX? But you lost money to FTX and not Celsius. So
Well,
why do you
Sam
think?
is a likable person and a liar nonetheless. I mean, let's be clear, he's, a liar and guilty of fraud, but he's not as gross of a person, like trying to convince people to put their life savings on this thing. Like, at no point was he doing that.
I agree. Like Alex Mashinsky was really trying to get people to move like the savings in their Roth IRAs and like all of their everything in their bank accounts to Celsius. So I think that's more morally and ethically objectionable. But I know I get a lot of pushback on all those statements, but
Yeah.
his sentencing is around the corner.
Other than that, not much happening
Really?
in FTX, other than we see a lot of claims every single day. And the biggest thing that we see is that people are not filing their claims correctly, have not filed correctly. People need to take this really seriously. Kroll, we can queue up that email I had sent you. Kroll sent around an email saying, hey, we're past the deadline, so you may get fucked. However,
The deadline to file claims, just to clarify.
Yes, correct. My English not so good. Kroll
So-
will allow you to file your proof of claim. The system is still going to work. So you're better off doing it than not doing it. File for the right amounts. Don't be an idiot. Don't do anything stupid. And if you don't speak English, don't hesitate to reach out to people. You can reach out to me, like, no problem. I speak French, English, and Italian. We can use Google Translate. I'm happy to help you out, but like doing this wrong could have fatal consequences.
So customers are still able to file claims, like all customers, not just specific customers?
All customers, but we are past the bar date for all
Yeah.
customers.
But they're still going to take your filing into account at this stage?
We don't know, but the system still works. So you might as well take advantage of it.
So the website is, what is the website?
Claims.ftx.com. You log into that. And if you haven't done your KYC, you do your KYC urgently. That's really important.
Mhm.
And then you scroll down to step 5 and click file claim.
Okay.
You won't be able to log in.
Yeah, I know. But you just do it here. You select which entity you lost money to, ftx.com, FTX US, whatever.
And
then-
FTX EU is a mess because most FTX EU customers have both an FTX International and an FTX EU claim. And
Wait,
it's fucking
FTX
confusing.
International and FTX US claim?
EU.
EU.
So
Okay.
if you try to withdraw money from your FTX EU account, you now have an FTX International claim as well for the
Oh.
amount that you tried to withdraw. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very, very confusing thing.
That's new. That's fun.
It's so not fun.
How can creditors join this? What was it called? The CAH.
CAHC, the Customer Ad Hoc Group.
Okay, how can people join this
CAHC.
customer ad hoc group, and what benefits would they get by joining? Because you said you haven't joined.
I have not joined, and I'm getting legal advice on whether it is possible for me to join or whether I should join. You know, if you have a sizable claim, get legal advice. Else, make your own mind up. It's voteftx.com or ftxvote.com.
FTXvote.com is the website. Join the FTX Customer Ad Hoc Committee, CAHC.
The website looks cool.
Oh, it does look very nice. Nicely designed. They put some money into that.
Yeah.
Good job,
I
guys.
mean, to be honest, like, and I'm incredibly biased when I say this, at this point in the bankruptcy, I think you need to either decide that you're going to fight in a group like that or sell your claim. I think at this point, it doesn't really make sense for an international person that can get more than 70% recovery right now to like take the risk. Not financial advice. I'm incredibly biased as a claim buyer, but it doesn't make much sense
Yeah.
to be at the mercy of the system when you can just go back into the market, do whatever you want with your money.
Yeah. And just wait this out for who knows how long, probably over a year until you see a payout. Maybe. I don't want to, it could be sooner, but probably a very long time.
It sounds
And I feel like
long.
people who sold their claims and put their money back into crypto are probably very happy right now since we're hitting all-time highs.
They're probably doing great. I did not have new all-time highs for crypto in my fucking mind for this year. I really did not.
I really didn't either. I'm surprised by this. I feel like I'm less bullish than most people on crypto Twitter are. So I'm very surprised by this. I'm pleased to see this. But people who did sell their claims and went back into the market are probably very happy right now.
They're crushing it.
Yeah, they are crushing it. I'm also obviously sponsored by claims buyers, but I feel like with the FTX bankruptcy in comparison to Celsius, in Celsius, we luckily did get crypto back. I got a combination of Bitcoin and ETH back. So I'm able to watch, even though it's much less than I put into Celsius, I'm able to watch the prices go up. But people at FTX aren't going to get that back. And
Still
FTX is
haven't
already
gotten my Celsius payout.
really weird.
And no communications, nothing.
FTX, they already sold the majority of the crypto, right? So what's even left at FTX? What crypto is remaining? They sold too soon.
Locked Solana.
Okay, I guess the only thing left is locked Solana, but they've sold most of the Bitcoin, ETH, etc., right?
I think so, yeah. It's
Damn,
not
that's
100% sure. It's not a transparent. We're not getting any coin reports or things like that like you did in Celsius.
Mm. Oh,
It's,
interesting.
I think that's it from
Okay.
my update.
Okay. Louis, you still have to set me up with someone?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
awesome.
have a lot of potential matches for you.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I need a boyfriend. Okay, good. Okay,
Maybe
Louis gonna
not
set.
whilst you're dying though.
Yeah, this is not my finest moment, so not right now, but in like a couple weeks or after I come back from New York, after I
Yeah.
watch Sam get sentenced. Okay. Love you, Louis. Talk again
Love you,
soon.
Tiff. Yeah.
Look at you flexing your muscles.
My guns. I think that was a computer. It was like a good angle for me guns.
This is a good angle. That's a good angle. See, everyone tell Louis he's good looking and needs to stop being self-conscious about how he looks on camera. Okay. Bye,
Okay.
Lulu.
Bye, Tiff. Bye.
Bye.
Do
I
I look
personally
really
disagree.
fucking pale on this video?
I don't think so. You're always so self-conscious, though.
Well, you know.
Everyone tell Louis he's a good-looking man.
Ooh. Tweet me that.
Yeah, tweet at Louis that he's a good-looking boy.
Only my mom thinks that, you know?
Louis is an objectively good-looking man. We'll leave it at that. We can let people compliment you on their own. But
That'd be nice.
okay, that was our update. And we're not missing anything else?
No. I need to go back to France so that I have a good background because I feel like I'm disappointing you.
I know, everyone's going to be so disappointed in this video. He'll go back to France soon so that he can get a better background.
I have a crappy painting here.
Oh, some ambiance?
Some
Spicing it up?
ambiance.
Exciting for the audience?
Tiffany Fong.
Louis Dorini.
Oh, you do good.
Kind of. It's not quite there, but are you
It's not so bad.
cooler now? Are you cooler? Do you feel better?
I'm definitely cooler.